movie theater owners. What worries me about the war on Paramount and Warner Brothers. This is from Variety or Hollywood Reporter, actually. You've got the story. Let's go, Badger.
Theater owner argues Paramount Warner merger could actually help movie theaters. Corey Jacobson, owner of Phoenix Theaters and a nearly 50-year veteran of the movie exhibition business, argues that regulators should look beyond the obvious concerns about consolidation when evaluating the proposed Paramount Skydance Warner Brothers Discovery merger. Jacobson's central argument is simple. Movie theaters can't survive without a steady supply of movies people want to see. While better seats, sound systems, projection, and customer experiences can bring people into theaters, exhibitors ultimately depend on studios continuing to finance, produce, and release major films. He argues that the health of studios is therefore just as important to theaters as competition between studios. Jacobson pushes back against the idea that home entertainment has steadily destroyed movie theaters. He points out that VHS, DVD, and pay TV, digital rentals, and streaming actually expanded the ways studios could make money from movies, encouraging more film production. The bigger problem, he argues, is when movies reach streaming too quickly. A meaningful theatrical window gives movies time to become cultural events and allows successful theatrical releases to increase their value on streaming and other platforms. If the Paramount Warner deal is stopped, Warner Brothers would still face uncertainty over its ownership and future strategy. That uncertainty could delay decisions about which movies to develop and finance, and Hollywood operates on a long timeline. A movie that isn't approved for production today could mean an empty slot on a release calendar years from now, eventually resulting in an empty theater auditorium. Jacobson believes another period of production disruption could be particularly damaging after the pandemic and Hollywood strikes already created major gaps in the theatrical pipeline. Jacobson points, it's almost done. Jacobson points to David Ellison's commitment to increase Paramount's theatrical output to at least 30 movies per year, along with meaningful exclusive theatrical windows. He believes that would directly address what theaters need: more movies, strongly marketed, and enough time in theaters to make them events.
I mean, this Paramount WBD merger has divided Hollywood. It's really civil war. But what's weird is it's like Rob Bonta fighting he's like a one man. He's fighting it. Even Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt and Karen Bass on the same side saying, let this merger go through. Movie theaters need movies. And everyone was against the Netflix deal. It was a different reason because it would have, they're not committed to theatrical. And I think the writing is on the wall for Netflix. I mean, as someone who recently canceled Netflix, there's not much on it. And I'm sick of like watching a streaming movie and going, that's a streaming movie. I don't feel fulfilled enough. Like, and you saw last Friday, Alan, you saw a movie that could have been a streaming movie, Spa Weekend. You saw that movie. That could have been on Netflix and whatever. But for the most part, I go on Netflix. I spend more time scrolling and not finding something than settling on something and watching it. I like going to the movies, and I think that's come back. I think Spider-Man Brand New Day and Odyssey, whatever you think of those movies, have made people realize, hey, I like going to the movies. I'll see if there's some other choice out there. Now, there's going to be a long dry spell between now and like November when Godzilla Minus Zero opens, first week of November. But like, the theater owners, and we've met them. If you go to CinemaCon, that's a convention for theater owners. They're desperate to please. This is why, please get us content. That's why Fathom Entertainment has become so popular with not only putting classic movies in theaters for people to see them, probably for the first time on the big screen, but also for indie movies. There's a Jimmy Stewart biopic coming out from Fathom, I don't know, a couple months. Like, theater owners are desperate for more. And if WB goes under, and it'll go under, but it'll be sold for parts. That's what'll happen if this isn't allowed to go through. What is everyone's thoughts here on this?
I mean, you know me, Chris. I'm right there with you when it comes to going to movies. It's like my favorite thing to do. And
Same.
the first thing I thought of when it came to this whole merger is the promise that Ellison made of we're going to push 15 for Paramount and 15 for Warner Brothers. And I said, man, that's fantastic. 30 films a year, every single year. But, there was this whole, well, can they hold them to it? I mean, that's just a verbal promise. But then he came out and said to Regal and to AMC, I'll put it in writing and I'll make it a 3-year contract or whatever the case may be. And I said, oh, and then he added on top of that, we'll do full 45-day theatrical windows and then 90 days until it goes to streaming. And I said, oh, that's a home run. Let's sign them up. Let's go. Because that's exactly what this guy just said, is that the short windows, those 17 3-day or 3-weekend windows, that's what's hurting theaters, is that these movies will be on streaming like that. It's like, oh, my son, he knows if a movie is advertised and it's dropping now, it'll probably be in theaters or out of theaters and on streaming. So he can get it on Amazon or on Apple. He can get that in about a month. And when that just completely killed his enthusiasm for going to theaters. It's like, Dad, it's going to be available in a month. We're like, why are we running to the theater to see this? And then I don't have to spend all of this money parking. I don't have to spend money on popcorn. I can just eat whatever food's around the house and we can watch it here. We got a nice TV to watch it on. There we go. And that's what's hurt theaters the most. The Fall Guy was the one that really opened my eyes to this. When the Fall Guy went to streaming in like 17 days, I was like, this is unsustainable. This is absolutely unsustainable. So David Ellison putting this in writing and making this a promise, to me, this is a home run. And this is something that theaters absolutely need. So I hope it happens. But if this thing gets dragged out and David Ellison's, well, I guess, we're not going to do it. I mean, that's just going to hurt theaters overall. Not just the gap between, the movie making, like how I'm slowing everything down, but also the promises of, 45-day theatrical window, 90 days to streaming. Like that's what theaters need more than anything.
Any other thoughts from people here?
Well, it is true. Like streaming really killed theaters, because I was of that same mindset. Something comes out in theaters, it's like, oh, well, it'll be on streaming in like a month. I'd rather watch it at home instead of spend money, especially since the quality of movies have just gone downhill. I don't want to waste my money on something that's going to be on streaming in a month. So if the quality is going down and you can get it and you can save money and watch it at home in a month, then I'm staying home. Now, if you want to get people to theaters, what he is offering is an incredible thing. Like I've been enjoying. It's not just Spider-Man Brand New Day and The Odyssey. Like there's been a few movies that I've enjoyed watching at the movie theater this year so far. Project Hail Mary came out and I watched that a couple of times in theaters and I absolutely loved that movie. Then you have like Obsession that came out. Like it's an experience, and I think that a lot of people are forgetting what that experience is like, going to the movies with a lot of people and having fun at the movies, watching it on the big screen, eating popcorn. It's a movie experience. It's the movie going experience, that camaraderie that you have with an audience. It's an interesting thing to experience. I think a lot of people forgot about that and just liked the convenience of having a movie on streaming at home that you don't want to waste your money on. But now it looks like we're getting some better movies, some more quality movies that are going to the theaters. So this could be something really, really good for theaters, because I don't want them to die out. As much as I'm not really liking what Hollywood is producing right now, I would rather have a theater still be an option for me.
Yeah. And I think the thing too is people are finally starting to notice that the social element of our society got absolutely nuked, and like they're finally liking being around people again, and they're like, oh man, like this is actually cool. Like this is how you meet people. This is how you have interesting experiences instead of just being shut in your house all the time. And I mean, it's clearly dude, my kids have both seen Spider-Man multiple times now because they keep getting called by friends to go see it. And they're like, I've already seen it. I'll go again because it's fun going with my friends. And they just keep going back.
That's
and
great.
so like That's cool. I remember doing that as a kid too.
That's
And
how it
it's
used
like,
to be. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how it used to
Yeah.
be. And like Seth said, though, it's like you still have to put out good stuff. You have to put out stuff that people want to see. And there is at least some decent things that have been coming out, which is helping a lot. And the industry just needs to quit shooting themselves in the foot at every turn.
Back.
Yeah. It's not like there's a lack of bad ideas. It's that they kept picking shitty ones that push the narrative that they wanted. But then you get something like Maverick that just does a based fucking yay America with Tom Cruise being a veteran that's not horrible and actually uses his experience to do something good. And we like it. It's like, yes, because it's not hard to do that if you're not compromised by politics.
And what I've loved seeing, this happened like back when movie theaters first opened. I got the AMC A-list. I went and got it. I don't work for them. They don't pay me any money. I am a customer of A-list. And the vow was, I'm going to go see whatever is in the theater. I'm going to go on Thursdays, all the movies that open. I'll see the movies, talk about them on Friday. I'm going to go to the movie every week. And I told people I'll be at either Yard House or some other bar or restaurant that's around there. We pregame, we go to see the movies, we talk about it after. And that happened back when theaters reopened, I think 2021, around there, when they were kind of fully reopened. This whole, you couldn't book a seat next to someone. Remember all that? But even before that, I was going to the drive-in every weekend. I was going to the drive-in to see movies. But now there is at the AMC Burbank 16 where I go, there is a new movie meetup group they're all Gen Z kids, and they wear name tags, and they have like some Instagram group. And have you seen them, Derek?
I have. Yeah.
There's like, you're like, what are all these people with these name tags? And they pick a screening and all go see one movie. It may be good, it may be bad. They take a photo of themselves. They've turned it into a social event to meet up and hang out. I do think there is a pulling back from a screen life. Screen life has gone too far. It's not satisfying. God, I was at the grocery store. I had to download, go on an app to get a coupon code. I don't want any more apps. I don't need any more apps. I got enough. I'm done. Okay? I've deleted so many apps off my phone. I'm down to like a couple screens of this is what I use. I don't want any more. I want less time on this and more in person. And I think this is movie theaters are trying to provide that. So I would encourage any of you, wherever you live somewhere, I'm going to start a group. We go to the movies once a week. Good, bad, whatever. It still costs me $25 from AMC. And I see multiple movies in 1 week. Multiple. You can see up to 4. I'm just saying.
Yep.
You want that in person? That's something you can do.
That's also A-List has the Entourage feature, which is super cool. We use that. And so you can buy your friends tickets and you don't have to say anything or whatever, since they already have A-List. You're just like, you just get all your seats together. And we have a group of my buddies that do that regularly. And it's great because it's just like, hey, look, tickets are on sale. You grab everybody's tickets and you just go. It's super cool.
I just want to say, like, a perfect example of that. It's not that there's not good ideas. It's just that they don't know how to choose them, is Blade. Right? They had him for 7 years.
Yeah.
And even though he said that thing about, well, we didn't want to just put him in a leather trench coat and have him killing vampires. No, motherfucker, that's all you had to do. But they didn't. They wanted to make it some sort of social commentary race shit, which is why it kept being about Blade's daughter and it kept being about this and anything but just what people actually wanted. Why? Because they're trying to push a narrative instead of just doing what they know people want. But if you just do what people want, you end up getting good movies again. And you end up getting video games that all of a sudden the females don't look like ugly men because you stopped trying to I'm looking at you, Fable. You stopped trying to push a message and you just did what you knew would resonate with the majority of the people.